Okay, so then I'm going to loft into here and here. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, but I think that might be the last thing I do, because I can always build something to blend off those surfaces. So first I want to do is get the main form. Same as in here, we want to get that main form and get that going. So with that said, let me open up SolidWorks. SolidWorks needs to be over here. Okay. Green Red Bulls? This is Dr. Zeus? Oh, lentil. Oh, got it. Red Bulls, lentils, same thing. Ooh. Hey, Zoe. Zoe. Who? 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 Who asked? My son does that to me all the time. Well, his other one is who? Who what? Who cares? I know. There we go. Okay, let me, I need to stop sharing there. Okay, let me share here. Okay, so you can see my screen, right? Okay, and it's recording. Okay, so let me drag this here. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be quick and not perfect. So we talked about let's build our, two profile curves, and I'm actually going to build them on the same plane. So we're just going to go here, and we're going to build it on the right side. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this quick and dirty. So when you're building your curves, obviously you're going to have a vision for it. So always good to have your curvature combs on, so you want to check to make sure. Especially when you're doing things that evoke an emotion. So I'm going to do my top curve, and then I'm going to do my bottom curve. And this one, because it dives under, I'm going to use my spline so that I can go here, 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 and then here, because you've got this shape that does that. We want to make sure it's low enough. And this is something that you would want to play with a fair bit. Now I'm going to be somewhat rigid in the sense that I'm just going to have them all start at and stop at the same point. Okay, so these are the curves that we're going to use that are going to control everything. And then we're going to have our curves that go in between them. So what I can now do is I can come in, and for this I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because what I want to do is I don't want this curve to move, so I'm going to anchor it. I'm going to anchor this as well, because I've already spent my time and I got that to like the way I want. And I'm going to take this curve and I'm going to snap it. I'm going to say make it curvature. Now, we want to make this curvature as well, or at least tangent. But then what we can do is we can manipulate it and know that it's always going to be smooth in here and play with it. So with yours, you've got kind of a tighter radius up in here. Now the nice thing is if I come back and I unlock this, oops, if I unanchor it, I can adjust this curve a little bit and it won't change this. So what we're going to do is we'll do the same over here, and I'm just going to worry about tangency here quick. Oops, wrong one. And you can see where I can still move it around freely. Now, sometimes you can do this and you can simply just create this and use it as, you know, an underlay for sketching. So I'm going to close out of that. Oh, did that? Okay. And I'm going to draw another one on the same plane. So what I'm doing is I'm building my paths, my two paths for things to loop around. So let's just do this again quickly. Well, that's really wonky, but that's fine. Okay. I'm not liking what's going on there. Okay, we're going to say that's good for now. I'm not going to build the whole thing. I want to give you the essence. So now what we want to do is we want to build the start of our surfaces. So for this, what we're going to do is we want to start and get what that profile is going to look like. So I'm going to create a plane that's at this angle here. If we recall, there's lots of times where to build the plane, I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to extrude that as a surface. And I'm going to use that as my sketch plane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to draw oh, nope. Hold on one second. There we go. I'm snapping to those points. I want to make these horizontal so that they come all the way out. What that's going to do is it's going to allow the center part to be right. Now, again, if you're building the curves, you know, more complicated that you want, the better. Or, well, if you want it to be different, then just play with the curve. So we've got this. And right off the bat, you could say, okay, is that enough? You know, do I need another one down here? Or can I do, can I get away with the one curve and sweep it? Normally, I would say build the start and finish curve because that'll give you a little bit of flexibility. So with that said, I'm going to come back to my right plane and I'm going to, here, let me do this. A lot of times what works really well is to make sure that your curve, your endpoints of both guide curves are in the same position. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to, am I in a sketch? I'm going to build the plane again. So again, to build the plane, I'm just drawing a simple sketch and then extruding a curve. I'm going to draw a sketch on there. Now again, we want to make these horizontal, so they're going to be nice tangent surfaces. Okay, now what I can do is come in and I'm going to loft or boundary surface. I like to use boundary surface as a default. We'll start there and we'll go to here. And then we're going to follow this guide curve. And then we'll follow this guide curve. Oops. Is it going to? Okay, so let me tell you this because I didn't think about this by default. So I did this profile sketch as one giant sketch. All the curves are in one. But when I come to select it, it wants to select the entire sketch. I don't want to select the sketch. I want to select one curve in that sketch. So I have to hold on. So I right click and I go Selection Manager, and that'll allow me just to select that edge or that curve. I can come back in, we'll go with the next one. And that's the start of it. Now let me show all the sketches. So that's the start of it. Now I can come back in because you saw how I connected everything. We built these curves first. This curve here snaps to this point on the sketch. So if I come back and say, you know what, that is way too thin. It's not what we're wanting. I can come back and say, okay, let me edit this. Hold on, stop. What's going on? Get rid of that tangent. So I'm editing it. The surface isn't updating, but I'm editing it up real time because we wanted that to be thicker. And then you can see how that updated. Now, you saw how I sat there and I drew this plane first and then this plane first, right? So what we want to do, I'm going to delete this. And then we're going to go back to here. So as a rule of thumb, ideally, we want to make sure that things line up nicely. So that's going to line up there. That there is lining up there. You know, we can drop this down however we want to do, whatever we want to do for them. This should line up over here. So if that's the case, and we say, okay, great, I'm going to draw a sketch here, sketch here, sketch here, sketch here. What you can do, and you can see there I didn't snap to it. So you want to make sure you try to snap. I can come in, and you want to be as 90 degrees as you can. So ideally, that would be over here more. So what I can do at this point is I can just extrude them all at once. And then when it comes time for me to do it, all the planes are already there. I don't have to do it each time. It just saves multiple steps. Now, for your model, everything that I'm showing you, the best thing for you to do is bear with me, I'm getting there. Here we go. Have you watched this video? Okay. Yeah, well, yes, for one of the classes you guys were supposed to watch it. This video, oh, is literally your, the method that I was just talking about. I might do it a little bit different where I overbuild the splines and then trim them back. But you can still see it's very much what you want to do. So, but again, remember, get your model roughed in and use it to refresh it. Yeah, I can see it. Yep. So I would say get that exterior part built first, because then I can show you how to blend that in. It doesn't have to be all done at one time. Like, to me, that is a secondary feature where I would get the outside form, because if the outside form doesn't look good, you know, and I don't nail that perfect, then the inside doesn't matter. Or if I build it all at once, you know, then I don't like what the outside's doing. Well, the inside is a derivative of the outside. So I run the risk that when I update it, it all blows up anyways. So I would get that portion perfect first. Is this helping? Yeah. I think jumping into this, I succeeded in one area of teaching you guys the philosophy of how to develop a form with emotion, but then I think I failed in the aspect of the 3D modeling of the form. Does that make sense? Yeah. No, right. Yeah, we'll get on track. We'll get back. We'll get it fixed. You know, and then we're gonna make Zoe. Let's pick on Zoe next class. I think you should pick on Zoe. I don't know why. I feel like you should pick on Zoe. I don't know why. Is Zoe sitting right there? Oh. You guys have 2 floors to the apartment? Oh. Emma snore? Oh. Oh. What? What was? I didn't. No, she looked down on the floor and I said, "Oh, is Zoe right there? Someone seems a little bit testy." Yeah. Oh, God. Is she drinking? No, she needs. Can't comment. Energy drink. It's a mood stabilizer. Awesome. More. Would you like to talk about more? Is that enough? Mm-hmm. No, 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 because we're going to have a conversation at the start of the class. Um, yeah, I'm shaping it in my head how we proceed to get us back on track. Um, so it'll be a good discussion tomorrow. It'll be a good discussion tomorrow. So, okay, okay. It it was going to be for next Thursday. But I was kind of going based on how far people got, so I could see where people are at. So, but I do want to wrap it up soon. It's just a matter of, do I wrap it up next Tuesday or later? So, again, I think I achieved what I wanted to achieve with you guys having a better understanding of form and how to generate and create.